Hey guys, I am on my lunch break and just sitting out enjoying my chickens. And I thought I would just come on and talk to anybody that's just thinking about getting chickens. I've had chickens for almost 2 years. I started out with 10, a pack from Tractor Supply, a 10 pack of Rhode Island Reds. And I thought, oh, that's plenty. I won't need any more chickens than that. We built a little small coop. My ex-husband at the time built a really janky small coop, and I was done. That was it. I didn't need any more. That was fine. I ended up doing all the animal chores and all the feeding and all the, if anybody got sick or hurt or anything like that. I collected all the eggs. I did everything. So, right before we got divorced, I decided I need to add to my flock because I needed rainbow eggs. That's the first problem with being a chicken tender is you're gonna be chasing the rainbow. So I got another 10 pack from Tractor Supply of just assorted rainbow layers, and they don't tell you exactly what you have. They tell you what could be in your pack. And I ended up with a couple Easter eggers, a couple cream leg bars, a couple whiting true greens, and a starlight green egger. I think that's it. Anyway, in between that time, I learned about loss. We had a possum get into the chicken coop and get one of our girls, and then, we had a couple just completely disappear. And so then I was like, well, shoot, I need more chickens. Now, we don't, as a family, even while my ex-husband and my stepdaughter were still living here, we didn't eat a whole lot of eggs. But I sold them. And that helped supply food for the chickens. So it was like, they paid for themselves. They worked hard. They laid those eggs, and they got the money that, I got for selling the eggs. I put right back into a jar, and that's what I bought chicken feed with. So then this summer, me, single old homesteader by myself, decided that I need more chickens, which I have lost 7 chickens this year. We have a really bad either hawk or owl problem. I live in the middle of the woods. There's no telling. Possibly a coyote here or there. But definitely a problem with hawks. So I hatched 15. Just barnyard mix. My head rooster is a black copper Moran, or a blue copper Moran. There was a couple Moran eggs in there. Mainly green eggs. I had a couple of my Rhode Island red eggs in there, which a few of them didn't hatch. I think I hatched 2 Rhode Island red eggs, and one of them ended up being a rooster. So I got 15 chicks. In between that time, I got silkies back in November of last year. Those were just for me, just ornamental. I went to a local farm. He was selling them for $10 a piece, I think. I was only going to get 3. He gave me 1 for free, which ended up being a rooster. So I got my 4 silkies, and then I hatched 2. I had a girl go broody, and I let her hatch 2 silky babies. And then she abandoned them, and they ended up raising each other. And then a couple more went broody. I let let's see, Freckles, she went broody. I gave her 2 out of the batch of 15 to raise when they hatched. They're doing good. One of those is a rooster. That's Einstein and Dash, the ones that y'all saw the video of them swinging. And then Blanche was broody, so I gave her an egg, 1 single egg, which I think is an Easter egger. So it'll be an Easter egger on top of a Moran, so it'll probably end up being an olive egger. It was a blue egg. And now we have all of our babies, and I like to come out here and sit on my lunch break, especially on days like today when it's a beautiful 75 degrees. I'm sitting in the shade. Let me show you my view. So these are my babies. That's my little grow out coop. That's another thing that my ex-husband built that I just haven't had time to, I mean, I fixed it up a little bit, but I haven't done much to it. I've got to work on it this weekend, actually. And then over in the big run, we've got all of our big girls, and we've got 2 roosters. Olive is just a barnyard mix, and Gerald, aka Jerry, is the blue copper Moran. But everybody gets along, and I like to come out here on my lunch break and just sit with them. Everybody's pinned up now, unfortunately, because of all the hawk attacks. But they've got lots and lots of room. And everybody seems happy, scratching and dust bathing and all that good stuff. I sit out here with my babies. But let me tell you, so I hatched a batch of black copper Morans. I paid, I think, $30 for a 6-pack of eggs. The guy ended up giving me 2 extra. That was just from a local farm. I hatched those. Ended up with half roosters. Sold those roosters, which was good. That ended up paying me back for the money that I'd spent on the eggs. 2 of the girls from that hatch had failure to thrive or runting and stunting syndrome, something. I don't know. It was just a local farm. I don't know anything about the parent stock for those chicks. So baby Gloria is actually the only female that I have left. 2, there were 3. Yeah, there were 3. 2 got by a predator. That was Norma Jean was the other stunted baby, that's like baby Gloria. She got attacked by a snake, and then Clover got in the hawk or coyote or whatever attacks. So I don't have any black copper Moran hens from that batch that I hatched out, except for Gloria, and she's probably never going to lay an egg. I don't think that she's got the internal makeup to lay an egg. Whatever's wrong with her, she's not going to do it. Anyway, so I purchased 3 adult black copper Moran hens that are about the same age as my Rhode Island Reds, which were, that's Olive, which were hatched in January of 2024. One of them was sick. That would be Ivy. When I got her, she was real raily. She sneezed a lot and just coughed and hacked and just, I mean, she sounded terrible. All summer long, I worked with her, giving her antibiotics and VetRx, which, you know, is just like Vicks basically for chickens. And she finally, now, I think I got them in April, maybe, and it is now October, and she is finally clearing up. and now they're molting. Everybody's molting. So if you get eggs from me, just know that it's gonna take a while, because I've gone from getting a dozen a day to I'm down to like 5 or 6 a day right now. I think I have 17 or 18 laying hens, but nobody's laying right now because half of them are raising babies and the other half are molting. So that's my story. I know I share a lot of videos on here, and I've never really told my story of how I got into solo homesteading. And you know, I call it solo homesteading, but I don't have to do everything by myself. I do all the chores, I do all the raising and all the daily maintenance of the chickens and the garden and all that stuff. But when it comes to like building projects or anything that breaks down or something like that, I am absolutely blessed with a wonderful father who lives right next door, and he helps out a lot. He planned out and basically built my chicken coop, and he has helped with so many things around the property. My air conditioner was acting up earlier in the summer, and he fixed that. So I am blessed to have a wonderful father that does a lot for me. And my son, he's 21. He works. He, you know, he helps when I absolutely need him to help, but he doesn't do a whole lot. He helps with the heavy lifting because I have a pretty bad back condition right now that I'm in need of surgery for. So he helps with that. And while I'm down for surgery, he will, you know, pick up the slack and do all the chores around here. If I'm ever out of town or whatever, he'll put the chickens up and he'll feed the chickens if he needs to, but he doesn't like to do a whole lot of that stuff. Because this is my thing. I mean, and I don't expect him to, you know. I mean, he didn't buy the chickens. He didn't want the chickens. He was just a kid, you know. I mean, he was 19, 20 years old, but he was just a kid. Never a quiet moment. Anyway, that's my story. That's how I got into solo homesteading. There's so much more that I want to do that I just can't do right now. With my back issues, I just can't. I can't take on any more animals. I want to get a couple of goats. Since we live out in the woods, Olive, could you not? Since we live out in the woods, we have a lot of like brambles and just underbrush that I would love to have cleared off. I would love to, you know, let a couple of goats out here free roam and let them do their thing. But that is a future me that's going to have to do that, because right now I got all that I can handle on my plate with raising chickens and growing a garden and doing all that fun stuff. I just can't do anything else. But I mean, you know, I also have a full-time job. I'm a medical coder, and I do work from home, which is amazing for, you know, to be able to come out and on my breaks or on my lunch break, which is what I'm doing right now, to make sure that, you know, if the chickens need food or water or whatever, I can do that, and I don't have to try to fit everything into before work or after work. I have a little break in the middle of the day, and I can kind of set my own hours, so you know, I'm able to get off early enough that I have time in the afternoons before it gets dark to do anything. So that's where I am in life, and I'm so glad that you're all here for the ride, and I hope that we are able to get more followers. And I'm not trying to make money off of social media. I mean, I would love to, sure, to supplement my income, to supplement my chickens feed bill, because right now we're going through about $100 worth of feed a month between the chickens and the dogs. Of course, we have 3 dogs also. But you know, that's not my goal here. I don't do social media for the money. I do it because I like it, and if if I can teach somebody something that they didn't already know, then more power to me, because I love to be able to teach people new things and be able to show people that it can be done, and it's not glamorous, and it's not, you know, pretty girls walking through the garden in dresses and with their little baskets and being able to just collect all the things. There's a lot of dirty work and there's a lot of hard work that goes along with it. And you're never going to see me all dressed up in full makeup and wearing a pretty little dress. Usually it's a t-shirt and leggings, because that's what I wear, because that's what I'm comfortable in. And guess what? You can't do chicken chores if you're not comfortable. It's I mean, you could, I guess, but it ain't easy. And so I just want to come on here and be real, you know, unlike some of the other creators that have a bajillion followers, that, you know, people like to see the aesthetic of everything. But my page is not aesthetically pleasing. It is not ever going to be me all dressed up in a dress and makeup, because I don't even know if I own any makeup. I mean, I have a little mascara, but that's it. I don't wear makeup. I don't have to. I was blessed with good enough skin that it doesn't bother me. I'm self-confident enough that I just don't care. And, you know, I'm the kind of girl that I'm going to go to the grocery store in my t-shirt and leggings, because I don't care. I don't care what other people think. I don't care if people see, you know, my fatness walking around the grocery store. Big deal. Anyway, sorry, soapbox. So that's me. That's my story. And I'm glad you're all here to follow along and to help support us. If you ever have any questions or anything like that, hit the comment section. Feel free to email me, reach out, send me a message, whatever. I'll teach you as much as I know, and I hope to be able to have people that I follow that I'm able to learn from also. So y'all have a good day.